What's going on, people? As you already are aware, there's only a few big updates that Rust console kind of needs to do for it to then move on to the next stage of its life cycle and catching up to PC, which I don't think it ever will catch up to PC due to how quick they have updates. All you have to do is look at Shadowfrax on YouTube. He's pretty much the main guy that does updates surrounding Rust PC, and he's uploading at least 5-6 videos a month talking about updates within Rust. This is something we don't get for Rust console. We get one a month, so it's pretty dry when it comes to myself and other content creators that make videos surrounding updates for the game and talking about the game in general. Because of how slow it's moving, we're basically dry for content and there's really not much for us to talk about. However, what I wanted to talk about today was helicopters. This is something myself and so many other people I've spoken about in their videos, and I know what you're going to say before I even talk about this topic is, are you going to lead us down a rabbit hole that is just, it's not going to come, like what you're doing is clickbait, blah 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 blah. Basically what I'm doing is searching the web for stuff surrounding mini copters or helicopters, scrap helis, anything of that nature with air transport. And this is what I've found. So helicopters, or specifically minicopters, may come to Rust Console Edition in the future. This is obviously a given because we are gradually trying to catch up to speed to PC. Though there hasn't been any information or official confirmation from the developers yet of 11, recent updates to the game have addressed performance issues which were previously a limitation for add-in features like helicopters. Improvements in terrain and memory management make such additions more feasible now. And this is something I wanted to talk about in today's video. I think I know why, and I could totally be off the ball here or I could be on the money. I think I know why, and I'll put forward some evidence on my behalf as to what is going to happen with helis and why these bigger updates are going to come, but what is going to be taken away in order for these big updates to happen to the game, because we can't keep adding and adding and adding without taking something away. So community speculation and developer hints suggest that helicopters might be a part of the upcoming updates within 2024. This is something I found on the fucking internet. 2024, hints of minicopters coming within that year. We are at the end of 2024, so really we're just left to think for ourselves at this point. They say there's hints here and there. There's hints every year that myself and all the other content creators such as Jade Monkey and RazorTube will talk about in their update videos, because there's hints every single year. Of course, we just relay that information back to you with our own thoughts on what we believe will happen with the information that we have, but it just is what it is. 2024 is not going to happen. So for instance, a survey conducted by the developers hinted at features players wanted, including minicopters. Additionally, updates like Underground Assault, which has happened, and the Top Secret update, which has happened. Those things obviously came within 2024, but helicopters was in one of the kind of surveys you could take, whether it be in the Rust Console Discord or Twitter. They do these kind of surveys for skins and updates in the past, and basically minicopters was one of those things. And of course it was somewhat tested, but this was back with the old graphics, back in 2022. So I asked the question, have helicopters been tested in Rust Console? And this is what I got. Helicopters, particularly minicopters, have reportedly been tested on Rust Console Edition's public test servers or custom servers under controlled conditions. These tests are a part of an ongoing exploration by the developers to evaluate their feasibility, especially following performance optimizations and recent updates to the game. For example, some community insights suggest that speed and mechanics of helicopters are being explored to align with console performance constraints, aka old gen. Custom servers have allowed limited testing of helicopter mechanics such as movement, speed and handling to ensure they function well in the console environment. While these tests show promise, their inclusion in the main game depends on further development and balancing. However, there is no official word yet on whether these tests will lead to the full release. Keep an eye out on the developer updates and community discussions for any announcements. So I think that is somewhat credible, that they have been testing these mechanics and developments of minicopters, or air transportation for that matter, within these custom servers. And of course this is something I brought up, but Jade Monkey hits home with this, and that is when you fly around the map, how fast does everything load in terms of an FOV, how much can you see beyond in the distance, how fast it loads in. And this is something I've kind of have a counter argument to, because you are just a single entity that, whether it's invisible or not, it's just a person, which is a small entity within the game. But if you're in a minicopter, scrap heli, air balloon, given air balloon's a bit slower than both counterparts, that's a huge entity within the game that you're going to be moving at speed with. So it's kind of a little bit different, but I do see the point that he's raising, and I do agree with it. However, let's look at something that I thought I was crazy. I kind of had in the back of my head, surely I must be crazy thinking this. And then a lot of you thought the same. And if you've gotten to this part of the video, thank you. I know it's probably taken a long time too. But 2022 graphics are better than the 2024 graphics. Changed my mind. I mean, there's some parts that are better, don't get me wrong. The sea is better in 2024 than it was in 2022. The grass has changed a bit. That's subjective in my opinion. But I think overall, the sharpness, the rich quality of the graphics were better within 2022. So here I've got some screenshots that you're going to be seeing on screen now, or video clips, and these are from 2021. Look at the AK, for example. I'll slow it down for you. Look at how good the AK looks there. You know, there's a lot of texture going on with the metal, and it looks like it's rusted a little bit. Now let's switch to the 2024 AK. Do you see a difference? One looks like it's proper textures, really good graphically. The other looks like it's made out of clay. Yeah, a lot of you saying 2022 graphics look better, and now I'm starting to wonder, you're probably correct. And this is the same thing with most of the guns. Let's look at the SAR and the MP5, for example. I have gameplay and clips in the background for you. These guns, and these are just guns we're talking about, mind you, not everything else within the server, just specifically guns. I can bet my bottom dollar that, you know, they've changed or tweaked or dumbed down the textures and graphics for bigger updates to happen, which makes me think, if we're going to get a graphical update, is it going to necessarily be a good one, or is it going to be one that, you know, strips down and makes the, I guess, the graphics in general less sharper than they already are, to then pave the way for bigger updates to come into the game so they can be optimized for both new and old gen. As it said in the article, it said that the constraints of the console at the moment is the main factor as to why we haven't got big updates such as helis in the game right now. I thought it was something really interesting to talk about, that helis are being tested as of now within this game, and they've been tested for a long time. But it's not the fact that we're moving forward and getting more of these updates, but it's the things that have been taken away within this game. And it's something that wasn't even, you know, disclaimed to us. We didn't get this in the devlog when the terrain update and the graphics changed within the cultivator update when that happened. I think it was 2024 or definitely 2023. We didn't get any of this, that, you know, the graphics had changed. Well, we got that graphics had changed. We just thought in our minds, oh, they probably got better. But I think it's actually the fact that they've gotten worse than they used to be. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Hopefully this was somewhat informative. I do think, you know, a lot of these updates could be coming fast approaching. But if we get a graphics update, I don't know if we're going to get better graphics, or they actually could be dumbed down and restricted due to the limitations and constraints of the generation of consoles that we have optimized for this game. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.